Okay, how about now? Can everybody hear me now? A little technical difficulty there. Give me a thumbs up in the chat room if you can hear me. Does it sound okay? So this is a new external microphone that Christy gave me that she had. Yeah, okay, good. So had to add that into OBS. Even though it was on Zoom, I had to add it to OBS. So, thanks for joining, everybody. Give me 1 second. Because we're going to play it again. Because it's Monday, it's June. You guys know what that means. It's a K-Pro Cow Powwow. All right, I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. So we're just waiting on Christy to get in here. She's tied up at the moment, but she'll be in here any minute. And, oh, there she is.
Hi, everybody.
K-Pro is here at the command center. So it's a K-Pro Cow Command Center powwow, I guess.
Oh,
all right,
boy.
Let's get centered. Come on over.
Okay, I gotta get closer to Mike. All right, I'm here.
So everybody can hear us okay, right? Digital Treasure Map says, oh no.
Okay, here,
So,
okay.
if you guys don't know, we kind of been out of commission for the last 4 days because we played poker for like the last 4 days straight. And it's mentally exhausting, it's physically exhausting, so we're both pretty tired. I know you're sitting in a chair all day, but it's exhausting, it really is. So, but we knew we had to go live tonight to address a couple things that have been said. But it's the K-Pro Cow Powwow, so we wanted to come out and say hi to everybody. So say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Now, this is just, it's so different. I don't know. I'm at the command center. It feels, and when Mike says we played some poker, we played like 12 to 14 hours a day for the last 4 or 5 days. We didn't play a little bit of poker. I see a couple people in the room that played with us, and we saw, and I will be talking about some little side bets that went on and some winnings that happened. But I wanted just to say what's up first. Yeah, David C., we're going to be talking about ethics because this is the second time that I've taken a little trip out here, and right in the middle when we can't get to videos, some things were thrown out. And so we will address them now because lots of people have wanted us to. So, but we had to get through the important things. But do you see these really cool shirts?
Yeah, check it out.
Mike made? Mike.
Maybe at the mall, but yeah.
His mall is so much better than my
pretty
mall.
Cool.
Look at that.
Thanks to Bo for the design logo. That was awesome. For the design.
Okay. So I know JVR Princess, we couldn't find you. I was totally gonna, but you know one of the women would have represented either way.
Yeah, maybe. It's possible.
Okay, so, and thank you to the searcher that did come through with the last longer bit. Should we start with that? You know, the important things.
Oh, the poker? Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
So we did not win. We are not millionaires at this point. But the one thing that they do and we didn't know this, they have a really cool medallion. Let's see if I can get it.
There it is.
And they number them.
Yeah, you're right. I should have left this at 3. Let's see if this helps.
Yeah.
Let me know if that's any louder, anybody. Yeah.
So they sell these and they number the coins. So we made a little side bet with another searcher. So between Mike and I and him, who lasted longer in the World Series, and that person had to buy, those people had to buy that person a search coin. Yeah,
and guess what? Yeah.
Guess who won?
K-Pro won the last longer bet.
I lasted day one until about, I don't know, 8, 9 hours.
Yeah, long day. Whatever it was. It was a long day.
So, and as a thank you to my Poker Pro, I am handing the reins of this over to Michael.
Look at that.
So it is
awesome.
Thank you. So, yeah, I think Mike lasted 6 hours in the first day. I lasted 8 or 9. We rebought in. We did, Mike kicked butt in that one. He lasted until
after the dinner break.
Yeah, about 10 hours. I only lasted about 6. So we jumped in some other tournaments. Michael took one down. He won it, and so he's the only casher in in this group of us. So there was a lot of poker players.
And this is numbered. I am Cowlazars. So get it, numbered coin. So this is number 29 out of 212. So they only made 200. I don't even know if you guys can see that. They only made 212 of these. Supposed to be 12 or gold plated. I don't know. So thank you for giving it to me.
Yes.
K-Pro actually won it, but it's going to be right here on the command center with the other coins. So a little reminder of the World Series of Poker.
JBR Princess. I was out right before the dinner break.
Yeah, a lot of people were, right? We saw JBR over there. We saw a couple other searchers over there, which was awesome.
Yeah, and some of you were in the room.
And just ran into them randomly, which was really cool.
It was funny. I know about 10 people in Vegas, and about 3/4 of them are treasure hunters. We ran into all of them, and there's 10,000 people at this place, and somehow we ran into everyone, every searcher that we knew. So we didn't get to spend some time. Like Rudy came down, and Rudy, I'm so sorry, we were still in the money, so I got to spend like 3 minutes saying hello, and then we were off to playing poker again. So anyway, that's what.
All right, so that's poker. That's what we've been doing the last 4 days. What have you guys been doing? You've been reading anything lately? What's been going on in the treasure hunting world?
Yeah, Nick, we're going to get into exactly that, because we did have a few search peeps send us some screenshots of some things that I know I couldn't see. I could only be talked about. I couldn't read.
And before we get into it, I just want to say thank you to AJ Rainville. I don't think the sound was on when I thanked him. I texted him earlier and asked him if we could go on 30 minutes earlier, just because we're both wiped out.
Yeah, and I'm taking a red eye back, and so after the show I'm heading off.
I got to get K-Pro to the airport. So thanks to AJ for cutting his YouTube show 30 minutes short.
Extra cookies.
AJ Rainville on YouTube, Priddle Mondays. Those puzzles are pretty cool. So thanks, AJ.
Yeah. Yes. So we thought it would be a good discussion of when you search partner up, though this was related to some things that happened outside the Forrest Fenn hunt, we also thought it would be important because so many people search partner up. One of my search partners was a family member. One was someone I met on the forums and didn't know it all. And what are the miscommunications that can happen? Because we were not aware of a big hullabaloo that came up. And so we're going to go through the different scenarios from both of our perspectives, and then we're going to relate it to the Forrest Fenn hunt. And so when you are search partnering up, here's some lessons learned and good practices, because let's just say we learned the hard way. And I don't think there was any malintent, in my opinion. I think there's hurt feelings at this point that I just wasn't even aware of. So anyway,
Super Chat's on, as it's always on, which is a voluntary donation to say thank you for the video. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. Okay. So I have some notes like I always do. Mike gets to see how I prep now. So Mike, you get to start with kind of introducing.
Yeah.
For those of you that aren't on Facebook and don't know kind of the recent.
And I don't. So one of two things has happened. The posts were either taken down, or maybe I was blocked from that person's Facebook, because at first K-Pro couldn't see them. Now I can't see them. So I don't know if that person's blocked us on Facebook. I don't know, or if the posts were removed. But what happened is, you guys may know Beth, who is Genetic Blend. She's the one who drew Tyrion right here, right there. I just bought that from her like 2 weeks ago. Tyrion from Game of Thrones. So when the first original BOTG clothing treasure hunt started, the clues came out, and it was obvious it was Las Vegas, one of the city. Well, I forget. I don't have it in front of me, but it was about, is it a sin? It was obvious it was Las Vegas. The question is, was it Las Vegas, New Mexico, Las Vegas, Nevada, or Las Vegas, Texas? Yes, there is a Las Vegas, Texas. And Beth, Genetic Blend, she reached out to me and said, hey, Mike, I think this is in Las Vegas, and I think I know where it is. Do you want to partner up? And I came back to her, and the prize for that was $1,500. And I came back and said, yes, $1,000 for me, $500 for you, because I'm the one here in Vegas. I'm the one that's going to have to go boots on the ground to find it. And she came back and said $850, $650. So I said, okay, all right, what do you got? So she sends me what she has, and she realized that the treasure was in Red Rock. Red Rock Canyon is a preservation area out here in Vegas. It's very nice. It's a hiking spot. And that's what she had. She put together the clues, the road that led you into Red Rock, and that was kind of it. The rest of it would have to take a boots on the ground in order to figure out where this thing was.
But she thought it was in Calico Tanks.
Yeah, she thought it was in Calico Tanks. If you look at Red Rock, Calico Tanks is a named location inside of Red Rock. So she was like, it's up at Calico Tanks. Get up there and check it out. Now, in the description of this video, I put my boots on the ground vlog that I made, which was me and the boys out there looking for the treasure. You guys can watch that. That gives pretty much the whole thing of how it went. But 5 days I was out there boots on the ground. It took 5 days to find this thing. What you guys don't know is that on the 5th day, or some of you don't know, is that K-Pro flew out here with her kids, and because I couldn't find it. I was looking for the first 3 days. I was busting my butt. What's that?
In the wrong area.
Yeah. For the first 3 days, I was busting my butt trying to get to Calico Tanks, right? And then I realized it can't be up here. It's just too hard. It's too dangerous of a location. It's too hard to get up here. So then on the 4th day, or maybe the 5th day,
somewhere
I was with the boys for the first 3 days, and again, it's in the Boots on the Ground video. You guys can see it. When I went back by myself to try to get to Calico Tanks, I finally realized this isn't where it is. It's not the right location. So after talking to K-Pro, she was like, "You can't find." And then Boots on the Ground Clothing was going to come out with a clue on Friday. They said their clue would be released, and K-Pro was just like, "Hey, do you want? I'll fly out there and we'll find it together." And I was like, "That's a good idea. Let's try it." Now K-Pro knew about me talking to Beth, but K-Pro, 1, didn't want any money, and 2, she didn't want any credit. She just wanted to come out and see if we could find it with the kids. Right? So far, so good?
Well, and for me, I didn't want my kids at all ever giving credit. Like, that was an important piece because a lot of you know what I've been through. So I wanted it to make it about Mike and his kids. And so that kind of summarizes where we're at. So we saw kind of some issues that were outlined. And again, we don't have privy to this information. So thank you to those of you that thought we should probably be able to see something that we're being talked about. So I appreciate that. So I'm going to outline kind of each issue. Most of them are with Mike. And so the deal, so we just outline, we're going to outline what the issue is, or that has been outlined on this email that went, or the different Facebook pages. So the first was, there was a deal, and the deal was 2 conditions. 1, tell nobody, and 2, the dollar split, $6.50, $8.50. So that was the first one.
Right.
So the first issue was that Mike told me, and maybe told kids. All of our kids knew. So we have 4 kids between us. So our 4 kids knew, and me and Mike knew. There was another searcher that had issues that my daughter wasn't put in the video. I'll go into that in a minute. But all 6 of us knew the search. I know.
Yeah.
All 6 of us knew the search location. So that was kind of the first one. Did you tell K-Pro Mike? Did you tell K-Pro Mike? So that's our first topic. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I did. Because me and K-Pro were together. It's somebody that I trust. And I know what Beth is going to say. She's like, "Well, you weren't supposed to tell anybody." Me and Beth had an agreement. And that is correct. But by telling K-Pro, 1, I trust her. She's not going to fly out here behind our back and look for it. She did fly out here, but she wanted no credit and she wanted no money. So it didn't really break our agreement, is the way I looked at it. I mean, Beth, did you tell your husband? Does your husband know? You know what I mean? Or did you tell your son that, "Yeah, I'm involved in this treasure hunt and I think it's here"?
Well, and Beth
to me, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And I didn't think it was a huge issue because Beth and I had communications. And
yeah, she knew that you knew.
Right. I said, "I don't think it's a Calico Basin. Or Calico Tanks. I think it's in this parking lot in this other area." And she indicated, no, she thinks it's in Calico, which it didn't.
Which is what I was trying to get to. Trying to go on those 3 boots on the ground. And then I realized I had the boys on the 1. It actually started snowing while we were trying to get up there. And I was just like, "Boys, we got to turn around." And it was just like, it's not a Calico Tanks. It's
right.
Joshua from Boots on the Ground Clothing wouldn't have went all the way up there. It's kind of dangerous a little bit if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah.
Okay, she's saying she never talked to K-Pro about this hunt. Well, okay.
Well,
I have the one communication that says, "Yeah, now he's back in the right location."
Remember Beth, when I was parking in the one area and you were saying go around to the other parking lot and go to Calico Tanks that way? You emailed K-Pro or text. I don't know how you guys talked, but you were like, "Finally, he's listening to me.
Right.
Finally, he's going to the right location," which was wrong, by the way.
Right.
But you and K-Pro did talk. So.
Yeah. So the second one was $6.58. That was the first issue. So yes, he did communicate with me,
right,
and the kids, and I guess maybe this is where we want to bring it home when you do start a search partner agreement. Do you not tell anybody? Is it okay to tell your kids? Is it okay to tell
your spouse or your girlfriend or your significant other,
right,
or
right,
you know? Yeah, those are questions, and
Yeah.
that's why we titled this just ethics and treasure hunts. This isn't specific to boots on the ground and what happened between me and Beth. We wanted to open it up to, in general, there's a lot of agreements where the Forrest Fenn hunt, where somebody's like, I think I know where it is, I can't go boots on the ground, partner with me, and those are the things we want to talk about, is something for everybody to think about when you go into those agreements.
Right. We have about 3 or 4, Nick. We're going to get there very quickly. So the next was 650 versus 850. And Mike, I'm going to pass to you. That kind of changed a little.
Yeah,
or you thought about discussing a change.
Right. Well, I thought about changing the agreement. So in other words, I busted my butt 3 times trying to get to Calico Tanks. And I'm like, Beth, it's not at Calico Tanks. So what if, and then I remember, and I think it was through text message, Beth, but you may have saved them. I don't have these anymore. But I said, what if it's not at Calico Tanks? Does that like change our agreement? You know, what if I find it, but it's not at Calico Tanks where you thought it was? What if it's somewhere else? Right. And I know Beth won the virtual hunt for, was it $200? But I don't know what that answer was. That's between you and Boots on the Ground Clothing. I don't know how close you were with the virtual hunt. As far as I'm concerned, there's no way you would have been able to find it on Google Earth. You have to be there boots on the ground. Because remember, what we were looking for was that circle of gold. One of the clues was circle of gold. And that's what would show you where you had to dig, where this thing was buried.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and so there was a key parking lot, which someone came up with the parking lot clue answer.
Yeah, that was you. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
she
okay.
realized where you have to park, which was
look.
not where you wanted me to park, Beth. But it doesn't. But again, that's why I told K-Pro. She's not interested in credit. She wasn't interested in money.
I didn't want any of it. So,
in other words, what I'm saying is K-Pro did not change the agreement between me and you, Beth. That's why I told her, because she was not interested. She doesn't care about the agreement. I told her about the agreement. You know what I mean? I didn't just tell her, hey, there's this treasure hunt. See if you can figure out where it is, K-Pro. I said, K-Pro, me and Beth have this agreement. We're trying to find this thing. Right. And then it's K-Pro's idea when I couldn't find it. Well, what if I fly out there and help you find it?
Yeah,
so
which was fun. Okay, so the third issue was she needed credit to be given. And I think the definition of credit may be the thing that's at issue. So we wanted to show the clip of, you know, who was given credit.
Yeah. Do I have it? Or did I get rid of it? Yeah, I think I get rid of it.
Okay, he's going to bring that up because what is enough credit? So there was a Boots on the Ground video that was done that Mike will show exactly that genetic brand Beth, you've got the credit.
In other words, Beth, I gave you credit in the vlog that I made, the vlog. Right. So, and that's a good point. If somebody does want credit, how much is enough credit?
Like, do you have to do 2 videos or 4 videos or 6 videos?
It's a subjective thing, but it's a valid point. If somebody says, I want credit, and when I make a vlog on finding the treasure hunt, which K-Pro was there, but she didn't want to be in the video because of drama issues she deals with other searchers and didn't want her kids in it. And I'll show you guys. Where was it?
59,
let me bring
20.
it up. Yeah, I did give you credit, Beth. Let me see here. Let's see if you guys can hear this.
Out with the map on that Friday night, they released a map that made me realize the wrong way do I go. Made me realize I was supposed to go to the left.
So hopefully you guys can hear
the
that.
Map, I don't think I ever would have found it. I got to thank Genetic Blend. Beth is the one who put the clues together and said, "Hey, it's in Red Rock somewhere." She was thinking Calico Tanks because when you look on a map, that's all you see is Ash Springs or Calico Tanks. What a journey. I got to say thank you to K-Pro. She's the one who put together the craft parking lot. I didn't realize craft parking was the crafty place.
Right.
I also didn't realize calico is a color.
So, yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
In other words, I did give you credit, Beth. I mean, I believe in one of your posts you were like, I didn't even give you credit. But I did in the Boots on the Ground vlog that I made, which was the point of making the vlog.
But I think it was the thing that we saw was you didn't do enough times that you talked about it. You should have said my name more times or at different times. And maybe that's so when we're going to talk at the end when you're search partnering up, when someone wants credit. Is that
what does that mean?
What does that mean? How many times you have to say the person's name? Like I didn't care at all about credit, and I didn't need that part. But some people, maybe that's the most important part. And if it is, okay, you have to do 6 videos. You have to say my name at least 12 times. I mean, if it's really important to you, you should divide that out and say in your agreement, this means you must do at least 19 videos and say my name every time, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a subjective thing, but you guys, it should be worked out beforehand, I guess, is what it is apparently what we should do.
Right.
But I did go back to Beth, and I said, Beth, it's not a Calico Tanks. I've been out here 3 or 4 days, boots on the ground.
Right.
Uh-oh, what happened here?
Oh.
Start
Like
over again?
rewinded. Oh, rewinded.
Yeah, sorry,
Well,
guys.
and the other piece is, and we didn't mention,
I probably did that.
Mike sent the 650 anyway and said, "I want you to have it," even though she was upset. She said,
Well, before we get to that point, I did change the deal. I went back to Beth and said, Beth, if it's not a Calico Tanks, I think I should deserve more money because I'm the one busting my butt, boots on the ground, looking for this thing. So as far as the Forrest Fenn treasure, I think of it like this. If somebody was to say, I know the Forrest Fenn treasure is in Yellowstone. There's something in the poem I figured out. It's in Yellowstone. They partner with somebody to go boots on the ground. If that person goes boots on the ground 4 times and can't find it, does that change the agreement? In other words, how long is an agreement for? Because Beth, I said to you, I'm not going back because I was kicking my butt because I was out of shape, and you said that's okay. I'll fly out. Maybe I'll fly out there and find it by myself. Yeah. I mean, does that end the agreement? If I go back, are we still in the agreement?
Well, and hold on a second, Holly. Yeah. It is a one-sided conversation. The first side happened when we got screen captures of. There was a partnership between Fenn Treasure Hunters and her about talking about all this without us even being able to see it. If you're friends with somebody, have a conversation before you do that. But we wanted to respond because we got tons and tons of emails, calls, what happened, and we haven't even gotten to the issues of calling the hunt out, etc. But it was hard. We didn't even know we were being talked about. I was blocked without. We have done a joint hunt with Beth since this. This was shocking to hear.
She hid one of the silver coins. You know, the 50 video was Beth's idea. I mean, she worked on the Grand Adventure puzzles since this happened. I bought the Tyrion drawing from her, which is a great drawing. It only seemed like when K-Pro talked about it on AGK, there was an issue. But somebody was asking Beth, what did you get? And Beth just said she got nothing.
Right.
Beth got credit in the Boots on the Ground video for realizing it was in Red Rock, and I sent her the money. I sent her the $650. And I've got the PayPal line item to show it, but Beth sent it back and was kind of like she was upset. You know, you told K-Pro you wanted to change it. I sent her the original money, which was kind of the point, but she sent it back. So
yeah. I
don't know what to do other than that.
Yeah. And since we've done so many things together, after all this happened, I didn't know there was an issue. So I was sad to see I was blocked. I was sad to see my name was called out. I was sad to see it was over on Fenn Treasure Hunters, and that's who they're partnering with to have these discussions. It's like, okay, here we go again.
And when I sent the money and Beth sent it back, she said, I'm over it. So I thought that meant, okay, you're over it. Like, let's go on. But apparently not. So I don't know why K-Pro being on AGK. Maybe Genetic Blend did not know that K-Pro was there. Nobody knew K-Pro was with me when I found it. Here's the deal, guys. Beth did not find the Boots on the Ground treasure. I did not find the Boots on the Ground treasure. K-Pro found the Boots on the Ground treasure because she's the one who found the gold circle. When we were out there with the kids, she was up ahead of me, and she's like, here it is. The day before, I was in that exact same area. I knew I was in the home of Stone, House of Stone, I believe was one of the clues, House of Stone, and I couldn't find it. So kind of sneaky, but I'm looking. Think of the blaze for Forrest Fenn. I'm looking for a circle of stone on a vertical rock. I'm up there in the right area, and I'm looking everywhere. It was on a stone that was horizontal, and I'm not looking on the stones that are down here. I'm looking for something to look at and then go down. So K-Pro's actually the one who found it. It took me 4 days.
I don't need that. I didn't want that. I don't need that. Like
she didn't want anybody to know as well, because there are certain people that focus on her with drama, and she didn't want, especially with the kids being there.
Yeah.
She didn't want to have to deal with that. So.
Well, and so the other piece that was called out is Boots on the Ground clothing did not pay in a timely manner. And since we are famous in the search community, it was Mike's responsibility. He was wrong for not coming out to the community that he didn't get paid timely. So there you go, Mike.
Well, Joshua was smart because I went back to the terms and conditions of the first Boots on the Ground treasure hunt, and when the money didn't show up, I asked him, I'm like, what's going on? And he said, hey, I don't have the money yet. I'll get it to you when I can. Maybe I didn't sell it as much of the apparel as I thought. In the terms and conditions of that treasure hunt, it says, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joshua, because I know you're in the chat room, it says funds will be sent when commercially available. Does that sound right? When they're commercially available means I'll send it when I have the money. If the terms and conditions would have said I will send it within 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, which most contests usually state when you're going to get the money, it didn't have that. It said funds will be sent when they are commercially available. So a period of time went by. I asked Josh, hey, where's the money? I talked to Josh. If I would have thought something shady was going on, like he wasn't going to pay, I would have put that out to the community. But Joshua was like, hey, I got this going on. I will get you the money. And he did. He did get the money to me. So,
So
you know,
we put that baby.
none of the terms and conditions were broken is the way I looked at it. So that's why I didn't think it would be fair to come out and say, hey, Joshua hasn't given me the money yet. You better give it to me. I knew he was going to send it, and eventually he did. When Genetic Blend got her money for the virtual reward, I don't know. I don't know how long that took. But that's between her and Joshua as well. So,
but I mean, the big thing is, it was a couple months ago, and Mike's been paid, and Genetic Blend was paid, and it was returned. But everybody, from what we're understanding, it's been paid. So, I mean, Josh, I'm sorry that there was some question. It was more like, this is what I've heard. I don't know if it's happened. Well, we set the record straight there.
And as far as the other boots on the ground hunt, there was number 2, and then I heard Geo Ventures, and I don't know. I wasn't involved in any of those. I was actually talking, I think it was Belva, she's in the chat. I was going over clues with her, but since I wasn't, it's not in Nevada, I wasn't involved in that. I was never going to go look for it. So I have no idea what happened with those hunts. I can only speak to the first one that was here in Nevada. So.
Well, and Digital Treasure Map says, if Mike never told Caper anything, would it be found? Maybe. We saw some searchers up there, so, I mean, maybe, but... And the whole reason when I didn't even know I would be talking about it on AGK, we were, if you remember a week or so ago, it was the Walk of Shame and boots on the ground and how hard it is. And I referenced, and I said, I'm going to let the kitty cat out of the bag, Mike. I said, it's amazing. He was up there for so many days.
Right.
And when I got there was just this one little thing to find, and we happened to find it.
Right.
And so that's what
she
made
found it. We didn't happen to find it. K-Pro found it. But it was always up to K-Pro when if and when she wanted to come out and say that she was there.
Yeah.
She has issues. People have tried to get her personal information. There's no way in hell she's going to put her kids in a video. Yeah. And I don't blame her. And she said from the beginning, whatever agreement you and Beth have, I'm not changing that in any way. I just want to fly out and have our kids together to find it. So that's all that was.
So and that was okay. So the last piece is, and then we're going to go to more of a generic piece.
Yeah. Then we want to talk about agreements in general. So maybe we can all learn from this in some way.
Yeah. So one of the reasons, so people asked a few things, and I'm not going to answer most of them. They asked about why we hadn't come out as a couple, because that was referenced in the discussion that was posted that we were only given screenshots to.
Right.
There was discussion with some of the hunters of my daughter needed to be on video, because I think she's the one that actually touched it first. She's 12, in case we have children that were 5, 7, 9, and 12.
Right.
And then I do most of the talking on our show. I will answer to a couple of those things. Why we came out or didn't come out, I am going to only answer once. I knew the minute this happened that Mike and I came out as a couple, he would catch hate. And oh my gosh, there has been now videos about him. He's been in the hunt a long time. The amount of stuff coming out, and now this whole discussion that's I see focused on Fenn Treasure Hunters Facebook, which we can't see. I was the only one blocked. Now Mike's blocked, but Mike wasn't even blocked, and I wasn't the main issue, I don't think. All of that aside, I didn't want Mike to catch as much hate as when we come out as a couple. We did, and now we're sitting here doing ridiculous things like this. But my daughter, you guys, a 12-year-old should be off limits, so should a 9 and 8 and 6-year-old. So I will say whether my daughter was in the video or not is up to me as a parent, so please. And then I do most of the talking in one of the videos. If you watched any of our videos, I do most
yeah, some of the feedback from the marathon was, hey, K-Pro, let some of the other guests talk.
I'm working on it. I'm sorry.
That's kind of funny. But as far as personal stuff, it's personal, guys. We don't need to. We decide what goes on the Cowlazars YouTube channel, the Grand Adventure Facebook, and Hint of Riches website, the forum. Not you. You know what I mean? We decide how we're going to do things.
Right.
So.
Okay, so let's take it real high level now that we answered the big ones, and thank you, Sean, for saying that, because I agree.
What do you say?
He said it shouldn't matter. Your personal relationship is no one's business, and people should stay out of that kind of stuff.
Right.
You think.
And Beth didn't get into any of that. We're not talking about you, Beth, with some of these things. So.
Well,
although we don't know what was said because we're blocked by certain people and we're blocked from certain Facebook groups, but people send us screenshots. Because believe it or not, there are people that like us. So
I know they're far and few between. There's a couple here. So let's flip this conversation now that, because a lot of people said you were directly implicated in this, that Mike, he did all these wrong things, like he didn't give Beth credit. We just showed that there was quite a few things. Now the definition of credit, that's what we want to go into. So
now, let me bring up this. So K-Pro, do you think on AGK when you said I was there with Mike and I found it, do you think you should have gave Beth credit on the phone in to AGK?
Well, let me put it this way. since we were discussing boots on the ground or the boots on the ground, we were discussing boots on the ground. I didn't see it as
Just
relevant because we were talking about being boots on the ground. If I would have gotten an email communication from Beth that said, you didn't give me credit and that hurt my feelings or that is not appropriate, would you please do an extra video, or anytime you talk about this hunt in the future, you need to say my name. I'm very sensitive to this. Credit is most important to me. I would have done that in a heartbeat. That wasn't what it was for me, but like she said in the thing, you guys were friends. I would have absolutely, it was to me an innocent oversight. Someone else said, you need to give your daughter credit now. No, I will never, but Genetic Blend, sure. If you've ever watched the different hunts, she solves them within minutes. She's super, super intelligent. Right. I would have absolutely given credit, but I never was given the opportunity. I was just blocked and talked about. And I just went over this with my 12-year-old who's in middle school. Like, these are the things that you don't do as common courtesy, especially to your friends. Like, talk to the person first before this all blows up. These are just basic societal norms.
I will apologize to you, Beth, because I got pissed off for going boots on the ground 4 days in a row and not finding this thing. And I was just like, this isn't even worth it. So in other words, I was like, if I do find it, it's got to be more money. This isn't worth it. But in the end, I sent you the original money. That's kind of the point. I don't know. That's kind of the point I'm not sure of. Because if the point was the money, I did send it to you. You sent it back. If it was credit, you got credit in the video. I mean, every time we bring up boots on the ground clothing, do we have to say, and Genetic Blend is the one who figured out Red Rock? You know, I ran into 3 different searchers out there. Other people knew it was in Red Rock. That really wasn't a secret toward the end. So, you know.
But probably looking back, so that's one of the things. So let's take it to, you're now searching for Forrest Fenn's treasure. A lot of you know that one of my search partners was someone I met on the forums. I told him, he told me not to tell anybody, and I told him not to tell anybody. I don't know if he told his wife. His wife is not really a searcher or spouse.
And does that matter? What if their spouse is a searcher? Then you can't, but if they're not a searcher, you can?
Well,
I mean, what are the
I just
rules?
think it needs to be discussed. Here it wasn't discussed. So
Right.
I think it just needs to be so if you're partnering up with somebody, there's another search couple out there and someone said, I have pillow talk, I've given up my stuff to this person. And I thought that was an interesting way of putting it. That wasn't my terminology, it was theirs. So this is one to at least discuss. As treasure hunters, if you're partnering up with somebody, when they say don't tell anybody, does that include children? Does that include spouses, girlfriends, parents?
And I'll just give you my take on it. If there's a solution and somebody says don't tell anybody, that means anybody that's going to go behind your back and find it, and anybody that's going to post it publicly somewhere. I can talk to K-Pro about, anything, clues, treasure hunts, all that stuff. She's not going to tell anybody else. It's not going to be posted anywhere. So maybe Genetic Blend has a different view, and that's okay. She's allowed to have a different view. But I sent her the money, the original agreement. I sent her the money. So.
But the lessons learned here is if you're partnering with somebody, if they say don't tell anybody, define that. Define exactly. Like it cannot be a child. You're not allowed to go out with a child. You're not allowed to go out with anybody. The second is when they say I get credit. What does that mean? Does credit mean do you have to do a certain number of videos? Do you have to say the name a certain number of times? If you ever bring up that hunt again, does that, whether it's related to the solve or not? Like I've been a part of 5 hunts. One of them is boots on the ground clothing. That Genetic Blend was the reason that part of the search team. Like, do you have to say that each and every time? Like, define that. Because if it's important to somebody, you're partnering up with them for a reason. So give them the benefit of the doubt. Everybody be... And so here's the next one.
And I got another one. Could go backtrack, but go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
I was just going to say, I met a searcher that lives here in Vegas at a Starbucks. And they asked me, this is I don't know, a month ago or something, or maybe it was more like 2 months ago. But they asked me, because they were in Red Rock looking for the boots on the ground treasure. And they asked, did you get your money from Josh yet? And I said, no. And what I told Joshua in the beginning, when he didn't have the money readily available, I said, I'm not going to lie to anybody. If anybody asks me, have you been paid, I'm going to tell them the truth. And that searcher at Starbucks, I told them, no, I haven't been paid yet, but Joshua explained it, and I think I'll get the money. And that person ended up buying one of the Geo Venture boxes or whatever. But I always told that to Josh. I'm not going to lie to anybody. If anybody asks me if I've been paid or not, I'm going to tell them.
But
so
Mike,
I just wanted to point that out.
Mike, have you been paid?
Yes, I've been paid.
Okay.
But if anybody would have asked back then, I would have told them. Yeah.
Right. So, and then the other piece is, so if I say to Mike, we're going to Yellowstone, if it's found anywhere in Yellowstone, does that mean that he can't break the agreement? Or it would be breaking the agreement if he thinks it's in Ojo Caliente, but it ends up being at a place 5 miles away. Like in this case, it was Calico Tanks. Well, it was at least a mile away. I don't know, a couple miles
On
away.
Google Maps, Calico Tanks may look like really close to the spot where it was found, but when you're there, if you look at the boots on the ground video, that's hours and hours of hiking. There's nowhere close to each other, and I'm sure it's the same in Yellowstone.
Right.
I'll find out in 3 weeks.
So let's say you have
When I'm
8
out there.
clues, and the 9th one, it's kind of like in this case, all of them but the last one, it was just wrong. It wasn't up in Calico Tanks. It was in this certain other area that was not anywhere near. Now, in my case, I didn't want any money or notoriety or anything, but since it ended up being in a totally different location, but still within the park, so at Yellowstone, let's say Mike and I partner up. The first time I go, we know it's in Yellowstone, but we're at Ojo Caliente. But then maybe a year later, I go and I find it over in Old Faithful. Do I need to share it with him? It's in a completely different area.
And
The search clue was wrong. It wasn't. It wasn't not there yet. It was wrong. I don't know. It's a great question.
Yeah, I don't think I would have found it without K-Pro. The flip side says I don't think it would have been found without K-Pro, so then me and Beth never would have found it. That's just on me. I was right there in the area and didn't see it, and I was getting upset. I probably wasn't going to go back. If it hadn't been found for 2 or 3 weeks, then I may have gone back, but it would have been found that day. We ran in, there was a searcher there that saw us that didn't want to say hi because they saw K-Pro was there and they weren't sure. But later on, they contacted us and said, I saw you at Red Rock and you got it right before I was there to go get it. We also saw some other searchers that who knew who we were. We didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
So without K-Pro, it wouldn't have been found, Beth. Now, I don't know if that matters. I don't think it's going to alleviate how you feel.
Well, and I think, and to give credit to unnamed children, I think it's also different when you're on day 5 and you've been out by yourself. And if you look at Mike, he was so crashed. And that was the reference I was giving to the video. I'm like, go watch this video. Mike crashed.
Like the walk of shame when you're done.
Yeah,
I was pissed. I couldn't.
But when we went out, your kids and my
it was
kids,
fun, yeah.
it was so fun.
And
so we didn't spend an hour out there. We spent several because it was a family.
And that's
it was what Forrest Fenn told us to do.
Right, get out, get away from the machines and all that.
Yes.
But the reason I think it was found is because Boots on the Ground did put out that clue of that map. It showed me that I was going the wrong way. I've been going the wrong way the whole time. Yeah. Now that the map came out, it was like, oh, it's this way, and that's why it was found. But it would have been found that day pretty quick. So
okay, so Flipside said, I wouldn't be mad if David's found the treasure with his wife's help.
I didn't even see you had it up right here.
Yeah,
that's
I do.
Easier to read.
And Chris Yates said, K-Pro found a treasure? No, it was all a dream. Yeah. No, and it didn't matter. And that was the deal I made with Mike, is I didn't want it out and about. And then I put it out, which he was fine with then.
Yeah,
so
she could have put it out the day of. That was her choice, to not want to get into drama, which here we are anyway. But there's some other people, we're not talking about Beth, that
took it to a different level.
But
let's take it back to generic. So like Sean's saying about David. So Sean's search partner is David. So do you have an agreement after? Now here's another one. So after you have failed searches, so maybe I think a lot of people knew it was in Red Rock. So if Mike went out 4 different days, knew something was wrong, and was ready to give up, does that break the agreement?
Right.
Now Mike held to it and said, no matter what, I'm giving her that $650. That's the right thing to do. But
after thinking about it, I did that. Right. I wanted to change the agreement in the middle, and Beth was like, no, that's not fair. I'm done with it. I'm done. Yeah. I guess that's why she sent the money back. So
yeah. So, but the big piece is, Mike and I are in Yellowstone together. Oh, let me take a past search partner I have. I have a past search partner. I've given up on the spot. It's in New Mexico. What happens if he finds it in a year? And I went boots on the ground and gave him some additional clues and things that he didn't have before. Should he give me any part of it if he finds it? If Mike and I go up to Yellowstone, and then 3 years from now I go up to Yellowstone again, and Mike and I don't know each other by that point, do I give him part of it? Because at one time the early on clues got me to a general park. These are great questions.
When you
define that in your agreement.
Define this stuff when you guys go to an agreement with any treasure hunt. But we know Forrest Fenn is the big one, and a lot of people can't go boots on the ground. These are the things that, out of this one issue with a different treasure hunt, we thought of. People need to think about this stuff. How much credit is enough? Does the agreement expire? I mean, if the person that's going boots on the ground is like, I'm done, I can't find it, this must be the wrong spot, and then it ends up being there, is that agreement still in effect forever, for perpetuity?
Right.
Or does it end, is it 6 months? Is it number of boots on the ground? Is it until the person gives up? And then the original person finds somebody else to go boots on the ground for them? I mean, there's a lot of questions that come up, and 1,500, we're talking about 1 million something with the Forrest Fenn thing. So
well, and that's what it goes back to. Like, I learned so much from Sassy's story about people suing and all of that, and that was 100,000 or 50,000, 50 or 100,000, the David Blaine one. When you're talking about $1 million one, I personally did not think about these things. How do you define credit? How many videos do you have to do? How do you define how many boots on the grounds? How can something change? Do you discuss it amicably? Because again, after that, there was so much. I would have thought I would have still considered Beth and Mike friends. I mean, we did.
I still consider her friends with Beth. I mean, she may disagree. She may not like that I tried to change the agreement in the middle, but in the end, I sent her the original agreed upon money.
Yeah.
So,
but these are things now. This is where we can take our experience and learn from it, or their experience and learn from it. And that's why we wanted to define these things. These are the little nuances that have they come up in your. Do you have a written agreement? And in that written agreement, does it go into? I mean, like. Disclosure. Do you talk about, and you're not even allowed to tell your spouse, significant other, your kids, etc. What if you do want credit? What does that mean? What happens when you go boots on the ground and then something happens? Go
well, then another issue is two people have an agreement for Forrest Fenn's poem. One knows where it is. The second person is going to go boots on the ground. If that person that goes boots on the ground takes someone with them, is that a violation of the agreement? In other words, that person that goes with them doesn't want credit, doesn't want anything in the chest, doesn't want any money. But can the searcher just bring somebody and not tell the original person? I don't know. These are things to think about, I guess. Or is it, no, you have to go by yourself because I don't want anybody else to know the location you're going to. But what if it's somebody that's trusted where you're like, that person's never going to say, so.
Well, and totally not Mitzi brought up this. Toby must have done something. State your drama. So Toby was also called out in this.
Toby was?
Toby was.
I didn't actually see the video of where you called in, so I've been busy.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the Facebook post that everybody sent us stuff.
Okay.
Toby can talk to Toby, or about that part.
Yeah.
But I will say that it doesn't. It seems like that part was less than accurate. That was portrayed that Gypsy's Kiss is just protecting us because we're friends, etc. Because the case was pleaded to them, not to the friend. To AGK was contacted after this, and
what's AGK got to do with it?
Because I called into AGK and she wanted AGK to
like set the record straight.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
And
okay.
AGK,
well, that's what we're doing now, I guess. I mean, Beth is gonna, Beth's gonna give her side of the story again, I'm sure, and that's fine. Everybody's got their own opinion, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I will say, I mean, all she wants is an apology. What's the big deal? I will apologize for how bad this got because even there are hurt feelings whether they were intentional or not. So I apologize for helping, assisting, being a part of.
I just wonder if
issue.
when you said it on AGK, if you would have said, and Beth's the one who started this with Mike, if it ever would have came out of all the posts or not. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know that or not.
And the only reason I question it is the minute I saw the Facebook post that said, and go over to Fenn Treasure Hunter's site and we're discussing this in detail, I went, great.
As soon as we hear Fenn Treasure Hunters, it turns it into a different level. So I don't know if you know about any drama from previous Beth, but we're not going to go there. Yeah. Other than we're banned, we don't see anything that's in that group.
We don't see anything.
Or what they post. Or what they post anywhere. When they post in chat, like AGK, we don't see it because we're banned. So.
I don't know if you can check now.
Okay. So somebody emailed and said, why are they blocked? I don't believe you are, but I'll check it for sure.
There's some funny things. Like, I got blocked from AGK and I wear it like a badge of honor.
That's right.
It was by accident, so sometimes the accidents happen. So anyway, again, we wanted to talk a little bit about the specifics.
Nice, Greg Carter. Very nice. He says, I'm Beth and I want my 650. Nice, Greg.
Yeah, so all we'll say in general, both of us wanted to answer because there were some personal things said or directly with names called out, but we wanted to have the bigger and higher discussion, which is, answer me this. If you have a search partner, do you have all this defined? If one of you wants credit, what exactly credit means? What would happen if you've gone out for many more days than you thought and part of the solution is wrong with somebody? Do you have all of that defined? And I wouldn't have thought to put all of that through. Now, probably I would, just because, again, I think good people, I have had limited interactions with Beth, but she seems great. And Mike, I know a little bit better. And I think he's great. And so this was an honest miscommunication that now has turned terribly ugly with Facebook rants and blocking and this and that. It's like, and there is no blocking on Cowlazars channel. This discussion happened then on, somebody brought it over and said this was really wrong, that it wasn't discussed directly with Mike, and posted it. And so,
well, but me and Beth did discuss it, and when she said I'm over it, I thought it was a done deal. So I was a little surprised when people sent screenshots of like, hey, what's this all about? And I was like, okay, well, I guess we're going to talk about it out in the open, so let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is what we wanted to discuss tonight, but we have a couple of other things. Do you want to do that right now? That one.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else ethics wise.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about a couple other things. Oh, I wanted to bring this up. The Beacon Star. There's a treasure hunt book called The Beacon Star, and the author is called Randy Puchel. And Randy, in his Facebook group for The Beacon Star, he said, due to some issues with Forrest, Fenn, and the Thrill of the Chase hunt, I will never respond to a personal email, and I will only answer questions in this Facebook group, and will only respond to questions in this Facebook group. So when we talk about ethics, Forrest I don't know if ethics is the right word, but some people get their emails returned from Forrest, and some people don't. And some people get invited to Forrest's home, and some people don't. And I don't know if that's an ethical issue, but it just seems like something I would bring up, because I thought it was interesting that the author of another treasure hunt was like, I don't want to cause any issues or have the appearance of an issue, so I'm not going to respond to any emails. So I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Sassy, you're going to have to ask Beth that. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know why it got so personal. And I will say this is the second time I've been visiting and not able to get to my email in time, and everything blew up. And so in this case, somebody asked, why didn't we answer this a couple days ago? We literally played 14 hours of poker for several days. We just weren't able to. And I do have to give a lot of credit. I actually talked to Toby while I was on break for the 10 minutes where you're supposed to be running to the bathroom. And we talked for a minute, and then he said, go get back in there and win $1 million. And it was like, exactly. So we had to kind of hit our priorities, which was focusing on poker. So,
nice.
I did not make him grow the beard back. I personally like the beard, but I did not make him. So the contract's a formality. Blood is thicker than ink. Okay, so yeah,
Chris Yates, nice.
I love Chris Yates. Okay.
So yeah, it's just ethics and the thrill of the chase. If you get into an agreement with somebody for any treasure hunt, we just hope that the lessons I learned and what we went over today, maybe it would help somebody to think ahead on if you actually find it. What's that going to look like, and how does that agreement affect all the different scenarios if you actually find it? So
Tom Sawyer, please tell me who or what's going on, because that's happened. That's happened more than once.
Well, what's your screen name on Tap Talk?
On Tap Talk, it's Real K Pro, because someone did steal K Pro and was posting and saying, so if you know something and I need to go, and people have done it like 4 or 5 times now. So yeah. So it sounds like the answer is, why would this be made public? Why wouldn't it be discussed in private? And Genetic Blood's answer is because she put it out generally, and then people wanted to know specifics and names.
Well, you knew that was going to happen, but it's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm not upset that maybe I'm upset you posted it everywhere, but it's fine. I think it's good to get it out in the open and talk about it.
Well, I think it should be just personally, if I had a friend, if me and my search partner had any sort of issue that I would want to, and I called them a friend, I would at least say, hey, I wasn't happy about this before I blasted it all over.
But we had that talk. Me and her did have that talk. And that's when she when she sent the money back, she said, what you did was wrong. I don't appreciate it. But she said, I'm over it. So I thought over it meant, okay, let's move on.
Well, and we did a
because
joint
since
hunt
then,
together.
we've done some things since then. So I thought it was over it. But when you went on AGK, it must have triggered something. And she thought it necessary to bring it out to the community, and that's fine. Yeah. I own up with what I've done. I did apologize. I did send the original money. There was a drama issue why K-Pro did not want to be in the video or have anybody know that she was there, which is separate from Genetic Blend.
Right. Yeah. And the question about, anyway, we will just be,
that all gets into whole other things, and hopefully we just let that dog lie.
Yeah. So those are the pieces and parts. But the big thing is, and Toby, I think, said it interestingly, if you need a contract, you probably don't have the right partner. But this is a good lessons learned of.
That's an interesting point. Yeah.
I've gotten to the point now, and I think a lot of you know this. I direct everybody to Mike now, because there's just been too many weird things that have happened for me. I can't. And some people are like, I just had somebody who I know is in the chat was like, can you? Because we've been corresponding about different search clues and things in the Forrest Fenn hunt, and he asked me if I could call him. And everybody's heard enough audios that no, I won't call anybody. You go through Mike. And even in that case, we had one situation that really went awry. So I just don't, there's just a line there that I just don't cross at the same level. But we'll see everybody at the function.
Function in the
Function
Junctions in
the
3
Junction.
weeks. Let us know if you're going to make it. It's in 3 weeks. Yellowstone, West Yellowstone. Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's talk about. We got a package in the mail.
Yeah, we got to thank Alan K. Check out Alan K's YouTube channel. Look what he sent us. You don't want to tell the story about the original one that he found?
Yeah. So if anybody knows the word grapette, Alan K actually drinks on mic. You have to take your winnings at the function.
Right.
So,
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
So Alan K went and bought like the exact grapette that Forrest has talked about.
From the 50s off of eBay.
Like 1950s.
The original. Yeah.
And he was going to come on and drink it with us. And I said, you better talk to someone because you might.
Is Alan K in the room?
Alan was here earlier. And so it, wicked Zars.
Zar, you're a machine. This is somebody we know from the poker room. I got my boys this weekend, otherwise I'd show up with you.
I'm not happy, Zar. Zar took a lot of money from me on a cash game. He took me down. I mean, I think it was a bad beat, but I was not happy. He took my huge stack, like over $100. Anyway.
Tom Sawyer says, I wouldn't drink that if it's from the 50s. Exactly.
Yeah, well, so he actually contacted the grapette operations person, and they sent him some grapette that said, don't drink that, drink this instead. And so he was super cool.
They sent him
look
a case. And he sent us 3, which means we have 1 more. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with that.
Yeah. But
so we're going to try it right now. Here.
Okay. Are we both
ready?
Yours?
Yeah, we're going to drink it at the same time.
Okay.
And Forrest, if you're watching, this is his favorite drink,
This is on you, buddy. This is on you, friend.
All right. Okay. Hang on. Let me get mine.
Ooh, we were going to talk about that too.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I've never had grapette before in my life. Cheers.
Cheers. Grapette. Grapette's on, Alan. Ooh, that's sugary.
Yeah, it tastes just like grape Kool-Aid is what it tastes like with a lot of sugar. But it's good. I like it.
With some bubbles in it. So, thank you.
Made with real sugar,
Alan.
thirsty or not. Grapette. Vintage. It does say vintage right on the bottle. So, cool. Thanks, Alan. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't know what we'll do with the third one. We'll figure that out.
I'll put the last grapette on the shelf of the Forrest Fenn section of my retail shop. Haha. Yeah, it's
there you go.
It's like Fanta but grape. That's exactly right. Whoever said that, it's going too fast at this point. Okay, so yes, it is fizzy. It is, and I will not. I do not believe this is Forrest's favorite drink.
Why?
In my opinion, because he drinks other things.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I've heard that story.
Yes, you have. Okay, Forrest does not watch live. Okay.
So let's
let's talk about one other ethical one because I got blown up.
Yeah, I've got another one we can talk about.
Minotaur Merino is a long time. Is this gonna be yours? Okay.
Just in general, eBay in general
is a long time searcher, and he has decided to sell his www
solution.
Yeah. And he made a about 10-page paper and he put it up on eBay.
Yeah.
And
it's a PDF. You download it when you pay for it.
Yeah, and I think he sold, last I looked, 13, somewhere around there.
$25 is what he sold it for. I think he's what he's selling it for. And he's in the room. He can,
And someone, actually about 4 or 5 people came to me because he posted it up on the different forums. And for those of you that don't know, I own Hand of Riches Forum. And they said, why would you let him take advantage of the search community? And because people are desperate, they're going to buy it, etc. Now, there's a couple things. Kind of like somebody bought the FOIA for $3,500 and it wasn't an accurate FOIA, etc. There are people that have written books. There are people that have said they believe there's certain things and have either sold them, etc. I personally believe that's okay.
Yeah, anybody.
Again, that's my personal opinion. I do think some might take it advantage, but Mike sold coins for $15. Some people are selling them for thousands of dollars. Is that okay? I think if the market bears it, yes. So in my opinion, and again, $25, and someone that, if you don't know Minotaur, Justin is the one that went through the 200, 500 presentation.
Yeah, he was on our show, and he went through quotes from Forrest Fenn, and he put it together on how it's possible that all those are true, and it's really good. It's called the 200-footer, I think is what we call it.
So, and I did say, after he walked through it so logically, why not buy for $25? What happened? What are you laughing? Minotaur said, what up? In the chat room. For me, anybody can put anything they want on eBay. I have Forrest Fenn Solution. I'm going to put it on eBay for $5,000.
don't buy it. Obviously, it's wrong. I mean, buyer beware. Ethically, I don't think it's wrong to create something. Now, if you create something that's obviously a scam,
Right.
if I say I've got Forrest Fenn solution and I sell it for $100, and when you get it, it says there is no chest, it's a hoax.
Right.
That's not a solution. It's false advertising, whatever you want to call it. To me, that's wrong.
Right.
But if Justin believes he has the correct WWH and he goes through the process of how he figured it out, well, then sell it. The people who want to buy it can buy it.
Well,
the people who don't.
One of the people said to me, well, they should get an ISBN and publish it and all that. Why you have to go through all that? Like, it's okay for Cynthia Meacham to have a book, but it's not okay for Minotaur Marino to sell.
Yeah, people sell their solutions.
I think both of those are okay, personally.
Maybe people have an issue with it because they think it's a solution to a poem. In other words, if it was The Thrill of the Chase, just Minotaur Marino's opinions of The Thrill of the Chase,
Right.
is that okay?
Right.
Yeah, I
Just
don't
like
think it's
selling on
ethically
eBay.
wrong to sell something on eBay because nobody has to buy it. Nobody has to buy a Cowlazars coffee cup or whatever. It's just there if you want to. Nobody has to super chat for a marathon. It's there if you want to. So,
Yeah. So that was another thing that came up while we were out, and I know there's no way that Justin aligned that to my trip to make sure that it happened. No, I thought it was. I'm back now, and could you imagine if eBay had been around when Forrest was selling art? I think that's a great point.
Forrest, yeah. You
Yeah.
want to get into ethics? He sold forgeries, right? It was blatant. This is a forgery. Why not buy it? It's the same. Looks the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
We said thanks to AJ. Okay, now we have, because time's going to be getting tight because I'm getting on a plane soon.
Yeah, we're at about an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
We can keep going for a little while.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll go for a few more minutes, but I had a few other things. Britt Chaser just said exactly what you said.
Yeah, he sold
He sold
figs.
figs.
So you talk about ethics. I mean, buyer beware. Is it dead?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's dead. I'm going to plug this in. I'll be right back.
Okay. So yeah.
Function in the junction.
Yeah, Function in the Junction's in 3 weeks. West Yellowstone. What are the two places we're meeting up at? The Holiday Inn?
Holiday Inn, the ranch, the brand.
It's called The Brand.
Yes.
The Brand at the Holiday Inn.
And then
On Friday at what time? Do you know?
6 o'clock for
6
both of them.
p.m.
I don't remember which
Okay.
one's first.
Okay, go to hintofriches.com. If anybody's going to the function, just email me and K-Pro. I haven't responded to emails in the last 4 days, so I got a lot to go through, but I'll get caught up this week. All the maps for people that super chatted will be sent out this week. Bo with the logo, I still owe you your coin. That will be sent out this week. I'll get caught
Look
up.
how great that looks. Look, it's 24K per game metallic.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he really did a good job. It
He
really
did an
is cool.
awesome job.
I think there was something else.
There we
I'm sure people will remind us if we missed something.
Yes.
So Beth, no hard feelings. If you want to hold a grudge, hey, that's your opinion. I explained it as best I could. And what I told you in the text message was I got gold fever. Being out there for 4 days and not busting my butt, I was like, hey, I need more money. But then once it was found by somebody who didn't want any of the money, I said, okay, here's the original. Here's what we originally agreed
credit,
upon.
0. I don't need it. Like
Yeah.
that's not them. Everybody
then-
has what is important to them. That is 0%. I'm sorry I even said it in AGK, but we were talking about boots on the ground, and it's
Yeah.
such an incredible
And
video.
that's the one I went on.
Yes, you captured it so perfectly.
Are you guys planning a poker game?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not planning a poker game for Function in the Junction.
I got overruled.
And that's not saying we're not going to have one. That's saying we're not planning one. It's not an official event.
Are we bringing chips to the?
No, see, that's just it. No, we're
That's
not.
just wrong. That's just okay.
Yeah, we will be hiding some coins up there, some searcher coins for sure.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. So yeah, so that's so Function in the Junction. Friday night and Saturday night there are events. Everybody else, because we were planning a fishing trip and a couple of other things. And that is not happening now. We're going to keep it open and generic.
Not enough people were interested in doing
Yeah, because
that.
they wanted to go boots on the ground.
Everybody
and other
wants to do
things.
their own thing, which I
Yeah.
understand. Yeah,
We're
so.
still going to do some things. I've had probably 10 more that have decided to RSVP, so we're excited about that. So we'll see how everything goes when we get there. And we'll have email and things. So when you get there, if you want to do some informal meetups or walk the where Forrest used to
Yellowstone or
walk
whatever.
or head out. I want to head out to Ojo Caliente
Well, how do you know
again.
where Forrest used to walk?
Because he talked about that one little
okay.
ice cream shop, and
Okay.
yeah, so there's a there's a
All
lot
right.
of things like that that are that we will stop it, all of you stop it, not going to happen.
What else? Oh, the marathon. We're gonna do another. We thought the marathon was a great idea. We got mostly positive feedback. I did want to answer Lurker Mike's question. Lurker Mike, in all caps on Harry's forum, he said, I want to know if these people who want their refund from Super Chats contacted us directly, and if so, was it given, and blah, blah, blah. This is how it works for Lurker Mike and anybody else. When you Super Chat, we don't get the money right away. That goes to Google, because they own YouTube. Google takes their 30%, and then we'll see that money probably about the 16th of June. So we don't have any of the money from the Super Chats yet. We will. But that's how it works. If you get, I was never been contacted about a refund. No. If anybody refunded their Super Chat, then that's between them and Google. They've never notified us or anything like that. No. And I don't even know how that works, how you would go about getting a refund. But we're going to do another marathon because we had some good feedback. There are people who've emailed me to say, I want to be on. I know I haven't gone through the emails yet, but I will. And we're going to set up, the agenda will be published before this time.
Yeah, but here were some things that people asked. There's some people that want to come in and who've been a part of the tuber community for a while. They kind of that generic 1 hour time frame and have some things they want to talk about. I think that's great, but we also want to do some things for the new people that say, I can't come on for a whole hour by myself.
Yeah.
Perhaps the women's panel. We have a couple of other things. So once we actually get settled this week, we are going to discuss and get it out to you. So if you want to, we were thinking of doing an hour on a specific clue. And if you have a thing that you want to talk about, it went down the wrong pipe, and I am trying here, but so anyway, so yes, we make stuff up, Tony. This is a total fake relationship. Absolutely, they're trying to make us kiss.
Did we give? Yeah, I know. Did we give a feedback? Did we give a winner to the feedback contest?
I don't think we did.
So on Thursday's live, we will give the winner. We want feedback on the marathon, how the next one should be done. Good feedback and negative. So you have until Thursday's show to send us feedback. And somebody's going to get a coin or a map? A coin? Non-numbered coin?
Non-numbered coin.
Yeah, non-numbered coin. Coin. Yeah. Thanks for reminding us on that one. Again, we've been in poker world for the last 4 days. Ryan knows.
Yeah. Ryan. We got there right as you were leaving, I think, the next day.
Yeah, we probably passed each other. And we were there today, as a matter of fact. That was unplanned, but we had to try it again. Yeah. Moral of the video cast, trust nobody. Well, yeah, if you want to look at it that way.
I don't know.
The marathon is going to be Saturday, June 15th. Kind of the same, but we're going to have the agenda published this time so you'll know who's coming on when. And what K-Pro was saying is maybe if you've never been on YouTube before, maybe we do an hour for every 10 minutes. We have a new person come on just to introduce themselves, talk about their boots on the ground. Are they going to go boots on the ground?
New searcher corner.
Yeah, so if you're going to be campfire stories, somebody had the idea, right? So
yes, that's Steve Gahagan. He was talking about that at a time. I think it'd be cool to maybe do that here.
On the marathon.
As a part of the marathon.
Yeah.
But I will say Mike and I sat... we did break from poker for a couple hours and headed to the pool, and we talked about this, and we started coming up with all these ideas, and I'm like, it's only 9 or 10 hours. We had too many ideas, so we're going to have to pull some of those.
We went 10 and a half hours last time. So. Saturday, June 15th is the marathon. If you want to be on, just email me or K-Pro, and we'll work it out.
Okay, so Steve Klein says, what's up with the lightning bolts? This is actually the logo, but if you do it, if you take it out of the multicolor, this is what it looks like. It looks so awesome. Their graphic designer was able to do this, which is so cool.
Cowlazars, who is me, K-Pro, who is Christy, and then the Thor hammer is for hintofriches.com. Right. Now, we could have put Grand Adventure in there somewhere, but we didn't. So.
So there you have it. So it's something that just works out.
We thought it was pretty cool. So.
What happens at the pool stays at the pool. Okay, we will not talk about the pool anymore.
It's only 94 degrees in Vegas. I shouldn't have turned the air off. It's warm in here right now.
It is.
Yeah, I should have left the air on. I thought you guys would hear the background noise.
Let's see. How many people are going to the function so far? I had about 30, I think, but a couple have already dropped out. I had 2 just RSVP with me the last couple of days.
And I had somebody that I know here in Vegas says they're going to make it.
Nice. So I think we're at about 40. I will be between 30 and 40. I think some will drop out, some will come, that sort of thing. If I were to guess, it's going to be somewhere between 30 and 40.
Well, Nick Spera emailed me because the Beacon Star is one I've wanted to sit down and look at, and I just haven't had the time. But he says big block of code and Beacon is solved with Fibonacci, so that'd be cool. Let me know what you got. We're not going to agree to partner. Let's make it clear. Just if you want to share what you got, send it to me.
Wait a minute. Tony Driver says,
at least I could make it to Denver.
I guarantee you, Mike, you would do it. Christy is the sticking point.
What are we talking about?
Tony Driver, what am I the sticking point to? I don't know. Okay.
Oh, maybe Kiss? Is that what he's talking about? Probably. Yeah.
Okay. You guys are awful. Yeah, it took us how long? Okay, baby steps, guys. This is what I was talking about when I talked about people being mean and out of line during the Blaine hunt. Good for you for sticking to your britches with your kids.
You know, it's something that happened. Somebody wanted to talk about it for the good of the community, so we talked about it. You have my point of view, you have Beth's point of view, you have K-Pro's point of view. You guys make your own decision on whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but again, a really good lessons learned for a $1,500 hunt turned into such a issue, a sticking point issue, and hurt feelings at an absolute minimum. Let's take that lessons learned and now take it to the next step, which is the Forrest Fenn hunt, which then it could be really, really ugly. So let's use it as a learning experience. And again, I hope everybody can get back to okay, because I mean, I am disappointed that any sort of issue, especially gets splashed on Mike. I knew this was going to happen. I didn't think this much was going to hit Mike so quickly. I mean, we just kind of came out as a couple in the last few weeks, and how many videos do I get to see about Mike, and how many Facebook posts do I get to see about Mike? It's like, I've been used to it for a while now, and I knew the minute we came out as a couple it'd be, and it even was discussed in the, anyway, I'm not going back over
and I ignore a lot of it. A lot of people email me stuff, because I'm like, oh really? Who said what? I'm busy doing my own stuff, guys, so I don't watch a lot of the videos, honestly. Sorry, I just don't, and I don't look at a lot of the posts. I'm just busy doing,
our moderator is being wrong, so.
Copper Dan! Copper Dan's the moderator. Thanks, Copper Dan, for moderating. I don't think you had to kick anybody, but that's good.
I've seen a couple of So, related to Bob Lazars? No,
that's part of where the name came from. Not related, but I do believe Bob Lazar when he says he was there and saw what he saw. Jeremy Corbell on YouTube just released a new video with the Tic Tac flying UFO on the radar. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but there's a new video with the pilot who saw that, who was there. So off the Nimitz.
Sean asked, what Facebook group did this originate from? I saw it on Jenny's. I saw
Armchair Treasure
there was
Hunting
like
group.
3 or 4 of them. We've been now blocked, so we're not able to see it. I was told,
or they were taken down. I don't know if Beth has blocked us or not, but
I
it
showed you.
Oh,
it
well
with
then
mine
because I could see it, but she couldn't. So that tells me maybe K-Pro was blocked. I don't know.
So, and then somebody took it and reposted it over on Cowlazars' page to have a discussion where we could really bring up both sides and have a good discussion about it. But anyway, about 3 or 4 posts in, Genetic Blood said, hey, everybody, over on Fenn Treasure Hunters was where we'll discuss this in more length. So I think that's where the discussions happen. Jenny has locked it. The last I saw, now it's gone.
From
but
comments,
I couldn't see it at the time, so I don't know.
And Minotaur Moreno said, wait, Cowlazars and K-Pro are together? Yeah, right here. We're together at the command center.
Who said that?
Yeah, Minotaur Moreno.
Minotaur's
we're
just
together in this
up.
video, together.
We're together right here, right now.
All right. Yeah, she locked the post down, so that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. It's fine. They got discussion, if anything. Watch your agreements. Think of all this stuff when you go into an agreement. So.
Right. That's the bigger reason. We just didn't want to discuss the drama piece. Well, I mean, when somebody says something personal, you always want to respond, because several people are like, would I do the Grand Adventure again? Not after what this is.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, screw you too. It's like, well, wait a minute, let's explain it.
You never gave her credit ever? No, we just didn't say it enough times, I guess, or whatever.
I put it in the video.
I know, but that's not how it
and send her the money
that way. So anyway, so that was why it was important to have the first discussion. But start rethinking your search your contracts, or discuss some of these points that you are willing or aren't willing, and especially. Mike was wonderful, because I said I was taking a break during that time, and my kids I definitely didn't want on video. But what if you have a search partner and they don't want to be out in the community? They want to remain anonymous. Is that going to be okay after the fact? And when it is found, and some people catch maybe positive and negative, something to think about with your search partner. That's the big thing. So, okay.
Treasure Galore took it down. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, several people did, and several of the moderators contacted me and said they didn't think it was okay, and that's okay too. Yeah. So, okay, is there any final things? Because, yeah, well, we have some screen captures, Jana, unfortunately. It was at a time. I think it was a little bit of everywhere at a time.
This was back in February when it happened, so.
No,
what are we talking about?
No, like 3 days ago is when.
Oh, no, I meant original, the boots on the ground, the original agreement and all that was back in February, so, yeah. Yeah, but watch in the description of the video is the video I made of me and the boys going boots on the ground. At the very end, when it's found, is when K-Pro is there, but you won't see her because she didn't want her kids in the video. But, yeah,
right.
Just in the wrong area for so many days, I just got a little delirious, and you'll see it in the video. I was like, what am I doing? This is not up here. I'm in a dang. If I wouldn't have found people to come back down with me, it could have been turned into a bad situation.
Hey, guess what? It wasn't way up there.
Yeah, right. It's not way up there, right? It wasn't too far to walk. It was right there, but out of the parking lot. So
yes. So, but that has now fully prepared you
for Yellowstone boots on the ground.
It's coming up.
I still got to get the boots. Yeah, I know. I still got to get the boots.
And yeah, we're going to go. It looks like 2 different spots. We're going to go boots on the ground, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to jump in Hegman Lake. Maybe. How cold is it?
If that is our general search area, which we're not saying if
Hegman
it
Lake's
is.
a huge. I don't know. I don't even know.
If it's found anywhere in Hegman Lake.
I called it. It's there. So do I get. Never mind. Never mind.
Okay, that's. I think we're laughing about this because let's keep that lighthearted. It's like everybody got. I don't know. I got nothing.
It's fine. Everybody's got their own opinion, and it's okay. We just wanted to talk about it because some people said, "Hey, what's going on?" So we just wanted to clear the air. That's all. I'm sure somebody will make a video in response, and that's fine. Do what you got to do.
Everybody gets their.
But I can tell you, I won't even go there. Never mind. I was going to tell you one thing we won't do with the channel, but never mind. It doesn't matter. Our channel will always be here. The videos will always be free. Super Chat's on, and you use it if you want to. That's at your discretion.
Yeah, but this has been fun. And
Popo Aggie and Lander area on the way. Well, we're not driving. We're flying. So we're not driving through Wyoming. Or is that in the area? I'm not sure what he means.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you been to the Popo Aggie River? Never? Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Nope. So, there is a certain search person that I wanted to talk about 2 things. One, Billy. Billy is doing a...
Billy Price.
Billy Price is doing a Boots on the Ground, and he has shared quite a bit of information with me and with some others. Then he's trying to fundraise for his Boots on the Ground. I'm not saying, do it absolutely, sponsor him today, but what I'm saying is consider it. He is somebody that seems very dedicated and seems to really want to be going boots on the ground. So we will put the GoFundMe address in the description box so you can consider that. I know some searchers are starting to do that now. And again, if someone, just like someone super chatting, if you want to, this is what you get to do. But it's kind of cool because he outlines a lot of his story. Not only him and his story, kind of what he thinks about the treasure hunt and things. So Billy reached out to me and I thought, how cool is that? So again, there's been a lot of paying it forward in this community. For as much drama as we have some really good things that we've done as a community. So Billy, I wanted to make sure, and I apologize because last week he asked and I had forgotten.
Billy, consider coming on the marathon, then you can explain it yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to come on for 10 minutes in that hour, we're talking about having a bunch of different searchers, a wheel of searchers, try the wheel. Come on, and if you want to describe it. And somebody asked, is Davio boots on the ground right now? Does anybody know? I don't know.
I have been out
Somebody
of it.
asked.
Yeah,
we've been out of it, guys. We have not checked in to anything.
Yeah,
in a
that
while.
Czar guy got me in poker the other night. So it's day, night. If you know anything about poker right now, it's literally around the clock.
It's crazy. With the big 50, it's crazy.
Right.
And no, I did not bet the game, Ryan, so I stayed off it, and I'm going to stay off it. I'm pokered out for a while. I'm taking a break.
Yeah. So, okay. So that was, I got to go. I got an airplane to jump on, baby.
Yeah.
I got a red eye, and I will be back to it. We are going to have a show Thursday. I will not be at the command center. I think I'm going to I'm going to look into all of the, this is a command center. Hey guys, this is cooler than I thought it was going to be. Thanks for having me over,
well, thanks for coming. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be live Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks, AJ. Oh, we got one super chat from Bob G. Good luck, searchers. Stay frosty, my friends, for $6.50. Thanks, Bob. We appreciate it.
Look at that. And look what Mike got me. Mike.
Yeah, I actually, there's mine right here.
His is back there, but
we
I got a
went to the mall together.
I got a peek. We went to the mall again. We went to the mall.
This is how we should have played poker, but it's not. We didn't go and play poker.
Well, the one day I wore this. I didn't wear this. I should have with my sunglasses and been like.
I like the colors on yours almost better than the black one, but I think it's black.
Well, I'm 24K, so you see the metallic. Yeah.
Right.
What's up? Okay.
Okay, everybody.
Lady, you two be good. You too, Sean.
Yeah. See you, everybody. If you want to be on the marathon, reach out to us, and we will see you Thursday. So everybody, stay safe. It's going boots on the ground.
Yes.
All right.
Bye, y'all.